Oh my god. Okay, so I thought that I was gonna be an ice type gym leader. When people ask, I say ice type, but now I don't think that's the case. I don't, because my predictions are coming true. I think I'm a psychic type gym leader. I'm psychic type. I'm a psychic. I have made minor predictions on stream simply because people have asked me, and they are one by one slowly coming true. I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know why it is. I also have psychic dreams, so that's a thing. But this is crazy. Right here, you can see this little like mysterious, everybody's saying it's an elephant, but then they're saying it's a teapot elephant. There's a clip of me on stream literally saying, I think if they're gonna do an inanimate object, I'm not 100% opposed to like the teapot, but it's gotta be done right. And the water comes out the spout. Oh my gosh, like an elephant tea kettle. A water elephant, little teapot. Oh my god, if somebody goes back through and finds these clips, I will love you forever, because honestly, I don't want to sit through 5 hours of me just acting like I'm funny, because I know I'm not. So I'm not gonna go through all the footage, but I also said that I wanted a Pokemon that rolls around on a wheel. I don't know why, I just said it, and guess what? This new coal Pokemon rolls around on a wheel. Oh, I'm freaking out. And then there's also this that I tweeted. Not gonna read too far into that just yet. I know I could have pulled a muscle with a stretch like that one, but still, it's interesting. Don't say it's not, it definitely is. But all of that aside, we're doing shiny speculations today. We got 3 brand new Pokemon announced. They announced Yamper, but I was like, that is so like last month. Been there, done that. Still cute though. But today we're gonna go through and do these shiny speculations for each of all of the other brand new Pokemon that were revealed. We did also get the reveal of Giganta, the new forms. They're big, this giant cake. I don't even know if we'll have shiny forms of those Pokemon, so I'm trying to wait and see. You guys can let me know down below what you think, and if you want me to do shiny speculations for them, just comment it. And if enough people say that they want it, then I'll do an entire video dedicated to that. But I didn't want to include it in this one because we are talking Amazon Prime. I wanted to express ship this, and that's exactly what I'm doing today. If you guys enjoy this series, I definitely do. Please give the video a thumbs up and let me know down below what you think the shinies are gonna be. Do you think these shinies suck? You probably do. That's okay, because sometimes shinies suck, and it still could be correct. But without further ado, let's get into these shiny speculations. All right, first up is the sweetest thing I think I've ever seen, but don't let that fool you, because picking a fight with this guy is a big cake mistake. We're talking about Alcremie. Okay, if you read the description on this pup, very clearly it's whipped cream. It's got strawberries on it. So I'm gonna do the obvious things here. I'm sorry, that's just how it's gonna go. If you were expecting blue, if you were expecting green, first of all, that's gross. I had one person say to make it look like it was spoiled. How dare you? No, we're going straight up delicious here. So right off the bat, something I could totally see them doing is just a very much lighter cream, still rocking the same sort of shades, but then you take the strawberry and you bring it to a purple. There is such a thing as like a pinkish purple strawberry, so that works perfectly. And then the cream, subtle enough that it makes sense that it would be something they would do. They seem to be doing that a lot, but it's still a big enough change that you would notice it if you saw it in the wild. I don't know, this is not typically a crazy shiny. I think it still looks good, and it's just different enough to take the cake. Oh my god, did I say that? Yeah, we did, and we're moving on. Following that, this is probably the most likely shiny that we'll see from a Pokemon like this. It's got strawberries on it. It's very clearly dessert themed. In fact, I think they said that chefs actually cook with the whipped cream, and I think there's a little, we should probably look into that, but that's besides the point. It would make perfect sense for the Pokemon to go pink. Despite the dessert argument, which is gonna be recurring for the rest of the shinies as well, this is actually a change that's not too far-fetched. We've seen it before, whether that be during the time that the algorithm decided the shinies or even after that. It still is a recurring theme. We've seen it on Baniri, we've seen it on Mienshao even. An Oricorio form has a very similar cream and pink change. I 100% believe that a variation of this is going to be the shiny. That being said, I made the same change on the strawberries. I really just feel like this is gonna be the change we see on those, and it just looks good. It really does. I like the change from like a red to a pinkish purple. I think it looks amazing, and this is a testament to that. I had a little bit of fun. This one is very clearly a chocolate variation. If we're gonna go with all the flavors, why not throw chocolate in there too? I had a bunch of people requesting this, so I thought, you know what? It probably would look good, and it kind of does, kind of doesn't. I think without a doubt, it does make a lot of sense, especially knowing the lore of this Pokemon. We also made the strawberries a color that strawberries can be. There are actually these light pink, orangish strawberries, almost white even, and I just thought that was a perfect complement to the chocolate. There is too much logic here. It is too perfect for the storyline. Not that this is gonna be a huge part of the storyline, but it just makes sense. Last but not least, the shiny that I'd love to see, still going perfectly along the lines of a flavor. Is she vanilla? Is she lemon? No, she's just a Pokemon. Not too huge of a change on the strawberries. Like I said, if it even does change, it's gonna be a subtle one. And then the rest of it is very reminiscent of course, Slurpuff. There have been way too many comparisons of this Pokemon to Slurpuff, like update, wait, go back, but like not really because we like her more, that I couldn't not play around with the color scheme. And honestly speaking, I think this looks amazing. Absolutely stunning. It's gonna stand out like crazy. It also kind of reminds me of the change that Goodra takes on. It's a great color scheme for a great Pokemon. Is this gonna be it? I don't actually know. I kind of hope so. Not too much else to say here. I went through it pretty quickly, but mainly because all all of these were dessert themed. I feel like 100% that is what's gonna happen. If it's not, it's a missed opportunity. Too delicious. Following up on that one, we've got an entire lump of coal. This is crazy. Rolycoly. He's small and smart and, well, just a lump of coal. But I love him. He rolls around on a wheel. This is exactly what I wanted. They've already shown him in the overworld and he looks amazing. I'm a fan of this Pokemon. I did end up making 5, so we're gonna go through these pretty quickly. First off, I'm gonna say there is a good chance that they don't change this Pokemon's color at all. All they do is change the eye. I took it from orange or red. They said it's red. I'm like, I got eyes and that is orange. I took it from that color all the way to like a purplish pink. There was no real baseline for that. It's just a change that I could see them doing. But regardless of the actual color they make it, the bottom line here is there is a very good chance that they just take that one aesthetic change and after that they're done. Nothing else to say here. Another very likely is the when in doubt gold it out. Not exactly what I would want. We could go through a million different Pokemon. Geodude is gonna be the example I give here. Geodude, Graveler, that old chestnut. It is just way too simple and easy to take a Pokemon when it's based on some sort of sediment to just take it and make it gold. That's what I think they do. I totally think they would. And then obviously the blue eye, it looks good in comparison. It's a nice little contrast and it's a trope that they continuously do. Stakataka is a prime example. The colors look great together on him. They look even better here. Is this the epitome of all shiny Pokemon? No, of course not. But is it something that I could totally see them doing? Without a doubt. Next up is a shiny color that I wanted to see. I don't really think this is something they would necessarily do, but we do have rock Pokemon with these colors before. The whole Boldore line is a good example. I went back and forth on whether or not to make the eye blue or the same pink that I used on the first shiny shown, but honestly speaking, I was pleasantly surprised. I actually think he rocks this pretty well. I will be the first to say that there's no real logical baseline to the color scheme here, so it's not really something I 100% see them doing, but I just wanted to see what it looked like, and I'm glad that I did. And finally, moving right along to the shiny that I would absolutely love to see, and honestly speaking, I think that they could totally do this. It makes too much sense. A diamond blue. It is coal, baby. This is literally a hunk of coal. So why not make the shiny the diamond in the rough? From coal to a diamond. A little nod to our favorite block game. Minecraft, if you're watching, big fan of the MCU. After that, obviously the eye changes a little bit too. I went from like that orange to a yellow. It's not a huge change, but it is a big enough one that you're gonna notice it. If you didn't notice the giant diamond ore in the background of it. Obviously no pressure, Game Freak, but I'm just saying this is perfect. And that being said, I also wanted to just give an honorable mention to this Beldum style shiny. When I saw this Pokemon, it was very reminiscent, like I said, the Boulder line and Beldum. So I wanted to see what it would look like white. I think it looks amazing. Is that a shiny I see them doing? No, not at all. That's why it is an honorable mention. But that being said, it does look good. Anything rocks white pretty well. Black and white and blue. Oh my gosh. Usually colors you can't go wrong with. Clearly we didn't here. Either of these I would be super happy with. Not the craziest design of a Pokemon, but I'm a fan. I actually am. And last but not least, the final Pokemon we're looking into, Duraladon. This guy's a freaking Mecha Godzilla of Pokemon. One thing that they're doing really well on these Pokemon is giving them amazing backstories that implement them in with the other Pokemon. The acclimation is real, people. That being said, he weighs like 100 pounds. He weighs less than I do, but he's made of aluminum foil, so that's probably why. Yes, I know for this first one, it's a very strange color palette and probably not one most of you are fans of. It is very reminiscent of Skarmory, and that's kind of the angle that I was taking with it. I was trying to think of steel type Pokemon that had interesting colors that weren't just the same ones over and over and over, because even though they're choosing the shiny colors themselves now, they are not going to rehash the same things over and over. So if I was just doing the same color schemes for every single Pokemon, there's no way they'd be accurate. Aside from all of that, once again, logic takes the stand. I decided to go with actual colors of aluminum. I did a little research. Turns out aluminum can be a lot of different colors, so didn't help me that much. I went with a very subtle beige, tan, gold, auburn, metal. I don't know what's going on back here, not sure what that is, but I made it orange. A subtle change, but a good one. And then to top it all off, to complement this rusty bucket of bolts, I made the blue a green. A little icky at first glance, but we've had some very strange color designs in the past, in the recent past. Turtonator's one that comes to mind. Now that I'm looking at it, it also looks a crazy amount like Durant. That's also a steel type, so this really isn't that off base. Moving right along from that one, this, I think, is so subtle and so beautiful and so perfect, and definitely something I could see them doing. They keep the baseline basically the same. Maybe it inches a little closer to complete white, but then they take the blue and they go colorless. We've seen colorless shinies left and right. Mimikyu is a prime example. Also, the Magnezone line comes to mind with changes like this, how they just drop most of the color, if not all. We changed the eye from like a yellow to a green. This accent up here goes from red to like a slate blue. I think that looks amazing. Oh my god, this is a shiny I would be so happy with, and it's really not that big of a change. It just goes to show subtlety is not always bad. that. It just has to be the right choices. An example of a steel type Pokemon that does this kind of poorly is Melmetal. I think the changes on that are pretty weak. So much potential in a Pokemon like that with not a lot of payout. So I'm hoping they don't take a route like that one. I'm really hoping that they go more this style. Coming up right behind that one, basically a complete opposite of the one we just saw. It goes from that silver or the white all the way to black. I needed to see what that looked like, and I'm really glad that I did. Obviously, you guys know black and blue are two of my favorite colors when it comes to shiny Pokemon, and oh my lord, this Pokemon is pulling it off like nobody's business. Definitely not a color scheme we see too often. In these videos, we see it quite often. But speaking on behalf of the actual Pokemon world, reality, it's not something that happens very often. Despite the whole thing seeming very outlandish, the blue shifting to a different color of blue and being a little bit brighter does make a little bit of sense when it comes to shiny Pokemon. That's a recurring thing that they do very often. But that being said, you guys just know that I love these colors, and this is not a shiny I expect to see at all. And finally, the end all be all when it comes to this Pokemon, this is definitely by far my favorite of the four. This is probably maybe my favorite of the entire bunch. And I don't want to jinx it, but it's possible. It is something that we can maybe see. We go from the original silver to like a mint green blue. That reminds me so much of the Aggron line, Registeel. There are so many variations that actually do this change that they could actually do it. I would absolutely lose my mind. I couldn't handle it if they did a change like this. Once again, I really loved going completely colorless on the hands. Taking that to a black I thought looked really good. I also made this a gray up here so that the color from the eye and the rest of the body really pops, and it definitely does. This is by far a dream team shiny. If the shiny ended up looking anything close to this, here is my heart. Feel free to steal it. All right, guys, that is gonna do it for this edition of my shiny speculations. If you enjoyed this series and you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. So far, so good. We have done shiny speculations for every single released Pokemon that has come out. Like I said before, if you guys do want to see me do shiny speculations for the Gigantamax forms, it can happen. I'm not gonna do it without you guys letting me know though, so put it in the comments below if that is something you want to see. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. More videos coming very soon, but until next time, this is Spree Markinine signing out. See you guys later.